Hey, I'm Jake. I make RPG supplements and videos about Pathfinder 2, or PF2. I love this system, including the adventure paths. This archetype we're talking about today is from the Outlaws of Alkenstar adventure path, the third one, the Smoking Gun, the Clockwork Reanimator archetype. I think what I like most about this archetype is that I like the vibe of it, and I like that you can change it too. Clockwork Reanimator. You have unlocked the secret connections between necromancy and clockwork locomotion, giving you the unholy power to reanimate corpses. These minions shuffle forth with the mindless motions of the unliving and are little more than puppets under your control. Similarly, via careful tinkering and anatomical study, you learn how to make a powerful necromechanical ally. Finally, your technological prowess is such that you can use your innovations to force even powerful, free-willed undead to obey you. The secret to your success is a combination of alchemy and clockwork, machines and magic, science and spellcasting. Of course, crafting the shell of a wind-up zombie is one matter. Your primary focus is on the craftwork necessary to make the whole thing work together. To you, the magic involved is only a means to an end, a way to make science more efficient through necromancy and potentially a little bit of evocation for some electric power. While some think your creations are vile, you see beauty in utility and believe animated corpses are tools that can be used for good or ill. For better or worse, when it comes to results, the science you've cobbled together fulfills the most important criterion for any new innovation. It works. Plain and simple. Your reanimated clockwork corpses are stable, effective, and more importantly, they don't rampage or crave the flesh of the living in the same way an undead would. Aw, I wish we could have that too. Plus, they aren't vulnerable to positive energy, making them easier to use around good clerics and their ilk without your minions taking friendly fire, or maybe even without your clerics complaining so much, because if they can't take holy damage, they must not be evil, right? Except for Asmons, always so inconveniently up in arms about the whole desecrating the bodies of the dead thing. They can't learn the difference between the stench of undeath and the smell of progress. I love that that's in there. The dedication is Clockwork Reanimator dedication, feat 2, rare, prerequisites, trained in crafting. You can animate corpses through cunning engineering. You gain a prototype construct companion to serve as a minion, from Guns and Gears, page 32. Unlike normal construct companions, yours is a corpse animated by clockwork gears and technological prowess. And, of course, the rest of it just says you can't take another dedication until you take 2 more from this archetype. It doesn't say what kind of corpse. It doesn't even say what size of corpse. Okay, I guess it has to fit the prototype construct companion, which is medium-sized. But it can be a corpse of anything. This is one of the only... I think there's only a couple. This is the only one that comes to mind that allows you to actually have a permanent, humanoid, medium-sized minion. We need to do something about that. And also, it's not considered a corpse, so it's not considered undead, which I actually would prefer that it were for negative healing to work on it. Or for certain other effects, like sensing where it is. I think you should be able to change that. Anyway, level 4 feat, Advanced Reanimated Companion. Oh, the rare tag is on here only because you have to play through the adventure and at the very end you make friends with a necromancer that does this kind of shit. If you get the secret from him, it's no longer rare. So basically it's always rare. So gotta talk to your GM. Next feat, Advanced Reanimated Companion. That's a level 4 feat. Your corpse-like construct companion becomes much more powerful and can act with limited autonomy to follow your greater directives. It becomes an advanced construct companion. During an encounter, even if you don't use the command of minion action, your construct companion can still use one action on your turn that round to stride or strike. This is really early for getting independence, and it also becomes advanced, so it upgrades. This is a great feat for such a low level. Next feat is also level 4, Hijack Undead. 3 actions, frequency once per hour. Your clockwork devices can commandeer the bodies of undead, bending them to your will. Make a melee strike against an adjacent undead creature. On a success, instead of taking damage, the target becomes controlled by you if its level is equal to or lower than your level -3. It can attempt a will saving throw against the higher of your class DC or spell DC to resist being controlled by you. If the target is already under someone else's control, the controlling creature also rolls a saving throw, and the undead uses the better result. Critical success, the target is unaffected and temporarily immune for 24 hours. Success, the target is unaffected. Failure, the undead creature becomes a minion under your control for a minute. The control ends if you or an ally attacks the minion undead. Critical failure as failure, but the duration is 1 hour. This does not interfere in any way with your permanent minion from this archetype. So you just get another creature, another zombie. It is kind of a bummer that it has to be such a low-level creature, but that's kind of how minions work in the system. They have to be fairly weak. I like that you can use this basically in every fight, because it's once per hour. It's not always going to be useful, because it only affects undead. But it is cool when you're in an adventure with undead. Otherwise, just trade it out. Retrain. That's what retraining is for. Level 6 feat. It's alive! You've mastered the use of electrical energy to power your clockwork creations. Whenever your construct companion takes electricity damage against temporary hit points equal to either half the electricity damage it took, or your level, whichever is lower, these temporary hit points last for up to 1 minute. Neat! This is, I mean, obviously you could have a combo with this. It's not like this only happens once every hour or something. Like, you could just keep firing electrical damage through it, or including it in AoE electrical spells, and just keep topping it up. This is definitely Frankenstein feel kind of archetype. I still don't like that it's a construct. It's not undead. I mean, this is like the only way in system to create a flesh golem, so fine, there's that. And that's basically what it is. But it's still not as cool as an actual flesh golem. Next feat, level 8. Incredible Reanimated Companion. Prerequisites, Advanced Reanimated Companion. You imbue the necrotized flesh of your reanimated construct companion with strange chemicals and fine-tune the clockwork within, enhancing all its capabilities. It becomes an incredible construct companion. So most of the time, I would think that you only care about the archetype up to that level. It's really good for just a single permanent minion. It also just seems more effective and useful than some other companions. Like, it's kind of a given that it has hands. It can do interact shit. It's sort of like a combination between a familiar and an animal companion. Next feat, level 12, Self-Destruct. It's a reaction. Trigger. Your reanimated clockwork companion is reduced to 0 hit points. Requirements, you're within 60 feet of your reanimated clockwork companion. You've installed a self-destruct device within your construct companion, which you can trigger with a special device from up to 60 feet away. When you activate the device, your reanimated construct companion explodes, dealing 2d6 fire damage per level to all creatures in a 30-foot radius. Creatures caught in the blast can attempt a basic reflex save with a DC equal to the higher of your class DC or spell DC. Obviously, extra damage is good. It kind of sucks that it has to get to 0 hit points first, because then it's completely useless for the rest of the day. You have to repair it. And that sucks a lot. And 2d6 at 12th level? No, I'd probably take other stuff. Like, I think that you should be permitted to take upgrades with the Inventor class on this archetype's creature, because it is a construct. Next feat, level 14, Improved Hijack Undead. You have to take Hijack Undead first, obviously. Undead creatures find it all but impossible to resist your commands. When you use Hijack Undead, if the undead fails its save, it becomes your minion for 10 minutes. If it critically fails, it becomes your minion for 24 hours. And you can use it every hour. So you can just keep collecting undead. As long as they critically fail. That's pretty cool. Level 14, next feat, Paragon Reanimated Companion. You have to have taken Incredible Reanimated Companion, which you would have because that's the point of this archetype. You make your robot undead pet better. You have reached the pinnacle of necromantic science, creating a mechanical zombie unlike any the world has seen before. Your reanimated construct companion becomes a Paragon construct companion. Great. Obviously, making your pet better is better. Next feat, level 16, Unwind Death. 3 actions. I know this is a long way to wait, but it's cool. Requirements. The target's body must be mostly intact. Combining necromancy with the mysterious temporal powers of clockwork, you wind a creature backward from the moment of its death. Attempt a DC 40 crafting check to revive a dead creature that has been dead for no more than 3 rounds. If you succeed, the target returns to life with the effects of Raised Dead, except it still has the wounded condition it had before dying, increased by 1, or wounded 1 if it wasn't wounded before dying. Whether you succeed or fail, the target is then temporarily immune to Unwind Death for a day. Much like a recent archetype I spoke of, you can use this on the whole party. As long as you're still alive and they all went down within the last 3 rounds. Better move fast. I hope you're hasted from before that wizard dropped. This is obviously a great feat. It's a little bit weird that it's part of this archetype, but I love that it is part of this archetype. I think I'm going to be using this archetype as a base chassis for my flesh warping archetype, because a lot of it seems to pair well. I would just not make it a construct or undead, just a humanoid. And, you know, add more feats and weird shit, like changing its face, because it's me. Last feat, level 20, Zombie Horde. Not really. There's 3 actions. You built your reanimated construct companion of modular components from various corpses. Its unique makeup enables your companion to split into dozens or even hundreds of much smaller corpse constructs. Acting as one, this shambling swarm can overwhelm your enemies. You command your reanimated construct companion. Instead of its normal actions, the companion splits into a horde of small and tiny construct companions within a 30-foot emanation from its original space. The horde makes a strike against each foe within the emanation with a +2 circumstance bonus to its attack roll. It's a corpse bomb. That should be the name of it, not Zombie Horde, because it's only one monster. The multiple attack penalty doesn't increase until after the companion makes all the attacks. The miniature companions recombine into a single companion of their original size at any location within the emanation. So it's, you spend 3 actions, you don't even get to command it to do something else. It just explodes, hitting everything in the area, and reforms. That doesn't really feel like a zombie horde. That feels like a deconstructive, reconstructive device. Like an atomic bomb. It's a corpse bomb. It explodes and then reforms. But that's a lot of attacks. And that's actually really good. I fucking hate that it's 20th level. God damn it. I get why, but fuck. Alright. So, obviously, I like this archetype. I like the feats. But I like the flavor most of all. Because there's nothing that says that your... Okay, I guess the prototype technically infers that it's something that you've been working on this whole time, this one construct. However, it says in this archetype that you have reanimated a corpse through clockwork and magic. Why does it always have to be the same corpse? Why can't you just grab different corpses? Like, you can also use illusion magic or just like really fancy cosmetics to make them look like real people again. And yeah, they're brainless. But using magic, again, like ventriloquism, you can talk through them. It could just seem like a normal companion. In fact, using the illusions, like I mentioned, illusory disguise even, you can just make them look normal and okay and act like it's just a person in your party, or just make the corpse look like it did in life, and you could like take over a town if you grab nobles' corpses. Little grave robbing never hurt anybody. I guess, okay, on the flip side, you could just give your inventor access to all this shit. Because nothing here really is about undead. It's just not. It says corpses, but that's all. So I think inventors should have easy access to all of these feats without having to take the dedication. It just allows for more fun. It's more fun options. Yes, I'm making a build based on this. That's why I like it so much right now. Okay, well, see what happens with that build. It's coming. Thank you for joining me for another Archetype video. If you're a patron, I'm grateful you are here. And so is Loot, even though he's falling asleep on my wrist. That is not easy to move a mouse when a cat is falling asleep on your wrist. Anyway, if any of you want to come to Discord that you're not in Discord yet, come over and chat with us. The link's in the description. Same with Patreon or the website, whatever you want to check out. And at the end of this, you can check, well, probably Howl of the Wild videos if you haven't seen them yet. Playlist is right there. And we're going to go with builds next, because I'm going to be trying to pump out as many builds as I can from what I've already started. There's probably going to be like a max of like 4 this month coming out, but I'm going to try to do it. So this will be the build playlist. Thanks. Okay, love you. Bye.